Good morning from Bocas del Toro in Panama. Welcome to your superpower yoga. This is going to be a strong practice, though we are always going to be searching for just that soft to medium limit. And if you start to tiptoe into the medium hard limit or the hard limit, I want you to either commit to it completely, knowing full well that you can, or back off a bit, recognizing that it's better to take small steps over time rather than get too much momentum too fast, become unconscious of what we're doing, and injure ourselves. Now, I trust that you've started already with a spinal warm-up, moving the spine both forwards arching, backwards arching, side to side, in whatever fashion that you prefer, as well as twisting around and around. Recognizing that we first need to warm up the spine to help that conscious communication between our hearts, our minds, and the rest of the body, so that we know where our soft, medium, and hard limits are throughout the practice. I may become a little bit backlit during this practice, but I wanted to share with you this awesome sunrise. So just follow along predominantly to the sound of my voice. I'll provide lots of clear communication. I'll be mirroring you today, so I'll be directing you and what you're doing, even though if you put it together, I'm going to be doing reflectively the opposite. This practice can and should be repeated often enough that you can begin to contrast, recognize the differences between the different practices. It's all good to take off 1 or maybe 2 days off of our yoga practice, but never take more than 3 days off, as that begins to create a pattern. And we want to continue to fuel ourselves, grow ourselves, not just in the poses and the physical workout, but continue to show up for ourselves and clear our minds, be present, clear our emotions, understand how to embrace the whole of the human spectrum of emotions, as this is what brings us to full yoga mastery. It's just like brushing your teeth. In order to keep using your teeth, you need to take care of them. You need to move stuff around with the brush and floss daily. Yoga is like brushing the teeth, but for the whole body, mind, and emotions. In order to keep using them well, you need to keep moving stuff around, using the breath as the toothpaste. The breath is going to oxygenate the blood. The motions and the poses are going to help to create space for that oxygenated blood to get into the cracks and crevices, grow your muscle memory, tone your muscles, your connective tissue, strengthen, heal, and clear your organs and your nervous system, and so on. We'll begin today with just a little Qigong warm-up in ready position. Before we get into that though, I want you to quickly note how you're holding yourself and how you're breathing without changing it, critiquing it, or manipulating it in any way. Now, using 2 fists as a measuring tool, bend at knees and come down and measure out the space in between your feet. Toes to heels parallel, 2 fist distance apart. Then, gently lift up all 10 toes off the ground and begin to sway your weight in small circles. Bring all of your awareness now down to the soles of your feet. Bringing our full mental attention to where our feet are, changing the weight distribution in the soles of the feet, noting that this is the quickest and easiest way of noting how our standing posture is by recognizing how is the pressure distributed in the soles of my feet. So to even out now, we're going to spiral smaller and smaller circles until we feel balanced, an even amount of weight distribution through both soles of the feet. So go ahead and find that now. Take your time. This may take some practice. Eventually, it will become second nature to you. Once you've found an even amount of pressure in both feet, inhale and lift the toes up and out, stretch them, and then exhale, pinky to big toe down, gripping the ground, gripping the mat, and taking a moment to connect with your foundation. Give gratitude for this day, for this moment, for this planet, and everything we tend to forget and sure would miss if we didn't have it. Let's move up the legs now to the knees. Lock out your knees, flex the kneecaps up, just to note what that feels like, and through a soft exhale, bend the knees just slightly. Moving up to the hips, bring your hands to your hips, and let's scoop the pelvis under and forwards. Keep scooping until you feel an engagement in your low abdomen, and this will help to protect your low back and keep you softly but strongly engaged at your center. Once we have that, inhale through your nose and pull the navel in and up the spine. Still keeping that pelvis gently under and forwards. Fill up your lungs, lift all the way up. Pause. And then slowly exhale and relax your arms and hands. Relax the hips, the glutes, the legs, and the feet. And clear your lungs. Pausing with no breath, focusing on your heart center. Inhale and lift the heart center up towards the sky. Stretching the lungs to their medium limit. Pause. Shift the shoulders back, relax them down, and exhale, leading with your elbows. Pull the arms forwards, rounding as if embracing a tree, with the palm facing palm connection out in front of your belly. Clearing the lungs once again, softening those shoulders, but making sure that your arms are still reaching forward, they're still engaged, moving elbows to the front. Not too much bend in the elbow, nor straight arms. Round shape. Now, inhaling through the nose, lift the crown up as if you are being reeled up towards the sky, suspended from a string. Fully lengthen that spine. Pause with full lungs, and then gently shift the head back, chin a little bit more down to your chest, and exhale, relaxing your head, your jaw, your neck, your shoulders, your arms, side body, hips, glutes, legs, and feet. Now, depending on where your energy's at, you might also touch the tip of your tongue up against your upper palate behind your teeth, softly. If ever you feel an excess amount of energy in your head, your jaw, your neck, or your shoulders, just touch the tip of the tongue up, relaxing everything else down, and allow the energy to move through. Study the muscle memory of this posture, though it might not feel natural at first. It's likely because we tend to hold our body not in good posture till that feels normal, and then good posture feels abnormal. So grow your awareness from the soles of the feet to the crown of your head. Observe and notice what shifted for you. Now let's cultivate some qi. Breathing in through the nose, expand the space in between your hands and arms a few inches. Exhale out the nose, contract the space. Inhale, fully expand, breathing in through the nose. Moving slowly. Pause and exhale out the nose, pressing on the space. Bring your full awareness to in between your palms. Inhale, like stretching a rubber band of light in between your hands. Grow the energy. And then exhale, press that energy into a smaller ball. Visualizing as if condensing chi, solidifying that energy growing in between your hands. Inhale. Exhale. Exhaling, hold the ball. You've just cultivated some light, life force, chi, prana energy in between your hands. We're going to use this energy now to smooth out the torus and harmonize our physical, emotional, and mental being. Holding that energy, inhale and pull it into the low abdomen. Continue breathing in through the nose as you rise it up your spine. Finishing up breathing in through the lips as you stretch both hands all the way up overhead, lungs fully expanded. And then soften. Shoulders, elbows, wrists. Slowly bring the hands down the outside edges of the torus. Breathing out through the nose and then perhaps finishing up the rest of the way out the lips. Inhale. Move the fire-based chi up the midline, burning through blockages between your physical, emotional, and mental energy centers. And slowly exhale, softening shoulders, elbows, and wrists. Moving energy, releasing out the crown what doesn't serve, letting it settle back to the earth, who receives it and recycles it without harm. One more time in this direction. Good. Now inhale up to the heart center. Turn the palms to face down and exhale, direct energy down the midline. Breathing all the way out. Turning palms face out as if they are lighter than air. Inhale like evaporating water, float up to the sky. Shift your gaze up to meet the space in between your hands. Hold the energy above the head and exhale like pulling a long, big rope. Draw it down through the midline, scanning the body consciously at the level of your hands. Continuing all the way down to the soles of your feet, clearing the lungs once again. Repeat. Inhale, water-based chi floats up overhead. Holding the energy above the head, exhale, pull it down, scanning internally and externally at the level of your hands. One more breath, moving slow. Harmonizing mind, upper dantian, emotions, middle dantian, and physical form, lower dantian. Then bringing the hands over the lower dantian, palm over palm. Check back in and notice what shifted for you from the beginning of this practice. Gently relax the body and walk in place. But shake it out. Move intuitively, however feels good for you. Wiggling out every part of the body. There's that sun. Let's honor it with a few super sun salutations. Coming to the front edge of your mat, feet together. Inhale the arms up and overhead. Bring the palms together, gentle back bend, and then pressing into the palms, scooping the pelvis under. Exhale and bring the hands down to the heart center. Pressing the thumbs into the sternum, checking in with the heartbeat. Once again, giving gratitude for this day, your own presence with yourself, this investment, and anything else you'd like to be grateful for. Small or big, doesn't matter. Let's continue to scan inside of the body, remembering why we're investing in ourselves for the benefit of all. Inhaling, drop the hands down, open up, and lift the arms up overhead. Gentle back bend, scooping under with the pelvis, opening up the arms. Exhale, dive all the way down to the feet. Forward fold, pulling the chest in towards the legs, legs straight. Make sure you're lifting the hips up. And then inhale, halfway lift, slide the hands to the tops of the shins or the bottoms of the thighs, press the shoulders back, lift the chest and pull it forward with the crown. Exhale, bend at your knees, plant your hands, and step it back into a plank or push-up position. Fill up your lungs, press through the heels, and exhale, slowly come down in a reverse push-up, lowering yourself steadily to the ground and meeting the hips and chest at once. Flatten the feet. Pull the elbows into the side ribs. And inhale, let's press up into a gentle cobra. Going up to your desired limit. Pulling those shoulders back, lifting the chin up. Take one breath into wherever you're feeling the tension, your low back, hips, glutes. And exhale, return back to the mat. Curling the toes back under, making sure the elbows are still hugging the side ribs. Inhale and slowly press up into a plank. And then exhale, lift the hips high and come into downward facing dog. Heels pressed down. Center of the chest moves towards the toes. Relax the neck and head. Press through both hands and all 10 fingers evenly. Don't just press into the palms or the heels of the palms. Make sure that you're evenly pressing through, engaging those hands. The hips lift up as high as possible. Keep the legs straight, but you're welcome to have some bend in those knees as you prefer. Take a few breaths here. Bring your left foot into the center of the mat and inhale, lift your right foot up high. Up, up, up as far as you can into a three-legged dog. And then pause and bend that knee. Open up the hip, stacking right hip over left, looking underneath the right shoulder, right arm. and exhale, drive the knee forwards and step that foot as far forwards as you can, as close to in between your hands as you can. Adjust as need be. Then place your back foot down at more or less a 30 to 45 degree angle. Heels are in alignment with each other. Press into the feet in opposite directions towards the edges of the mat. Flex the core, and then inhale, rise up into a warrior one. Full breath in as the arms lift up overhead, and then soften the shoulders down. We're pressing the front knee over the pinky toe side of the foot, knee over ankle. We're pressing out through the back edge of the back foot, pinky toe side, engaging the legs. The hands are lifting up, but the shoulders are softening down. Hips square forward with the front edge of your mat. Take a couple of breaths here. Then slowly, on an exhale, lower the left hand down. The right arm follows. Hips open up 90 degrees towards me. And then soften into a warrior two. Still pressing the same through the legs, the outsides. Now reaching the hands to the outsides, pulling the shoulders in and down. Make sure that crown is lifting up, tailbone sinking down. Looking over the front fingertips that are just about at eye height, checking to make sure the back fingertips are the same. Inhale and turn your front palm face up. Exhale, cartwheel the arms back. Bring your back hand to your back leg and reaching your right arm up and overhead, opening up the chest into a proud warrior. Don't lose the front bend in your knee. Stretching into the side or wherever you're feeling it. Breathe in the nose. Staying present, out the mouth, letting go. Two more breaths here. Inhale, come back up into your warrior two. Then bring your front arm down, resting your forearm on the front thigh, and bring the left arm up and overhead into a side angle stretch. Pressing through this long line from fingertips all the way down to the outside of the foot. Holding here for a few breaths. If this is easy for you, not even getting quite even into your soft limit, let alone your medium limit, release this arm and bring it back parallel with the back leg, and stretch the arms in opposite directions, and then focus on the breath. Two more breaths. Good. On an exhale, press back into warrior two. Inhale, bring the hips back forward and arms up, warrior one. Shift the weight a little bit more towards the front foot, making it easy for you to step that back foot forwards. Feet together, hands together. Gentle back bend as we look up towards the hands, and exhale, pull it down to our heart center. Flexing the pelvis under and forwards gently. Checking back in. Good. Let's inhale and bring the hands back up overhead. Exhale, open up the arms, dive down to the feet into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Bend the knees, plant the hands, and step back into a plank. Once again, flexing those heels back, flexing the thighs all the way up to your core, to your pelvis, scooping under and forward, pulling that navel gently in and up. Inhale. And exhale, slowly lower down. Meeting the mat, hips and chest at the same time. Feet flat, elbows in. Inhale, press up into a little bit bigger cobra than the first time. And if you're really open here, you can press into the tops of the feet and lift the knees up just an inch above the mat into an upward facing dog. Take a breath wherever you're at. And on your next exhale, slowly lower all the way back down. Curl the toes under, elbows in. Inhale, press into the plank. Exhale, downward facing dog, leading with the heels, then driving the chest through, pressing the hips up with the hands, relaxing neck and head. This is a resting pose, or at least it's going to ever evolve into one. You can always walk out the dog here if it feels natural to do. You can do anything that feels natural for you to do, recognizing that our yoga practice is about ourselves and what we need. Maybe my guidance is what you need. Maybe you need something a little different. Give yourself time. You can even come down into child's pose if ever you need the break. Finding the soft to medium limit is the key, not over-challenging ourselves. Good. Now let's bring our right foot to the middle of the mat and inhale our left foot high. Keep going up as high as you can, filling up the lungs, reaching into our three-legged dog, and then pause, bend the knee, open up and stack the left hip over the right, looking under our left arm. And then exhale, drive that knee forwards, stepping the foot in between the hands or as close as you can. Adjusting, bringing the back foot down, toes off in about a 30 to 45 degree angle, heels are in alignment on the mat. Press into the feet, moving in opposite directions, all the way up to your pelvis and core, and then inhale, float the chest and arms up. Warrior one. Take some full breaths here as you soften the shoulders down, lift the hands up. And then slowly drop your right arm down, follow it gently with the left, opening up the hips 90 degrees, away from the camera this time. You can look over your shoulder at me if you need a reference. We've got our hands reaching out in opposite directions, our shoulders coming in and relaxing down, still pressing through those feet, knee over ankle, pressing onto the pinky toe side, with a straight back leg pressing through the outer edge of the leg all the way down to the foot. Take a few breaths in Warrior Two. Inhale and turn front palm face up. Exhale, cartwheel the arms back into a proud warrior, bringing the back hand down to the back leg, pulling the left arm up and overhead, keeping the front bend in the knee, looking up if it's comfortable for you, and breathe.
2 more breaths. Make them count every time, stretching the lungs. Inhale, come back up into Warrior 2. Slowly lower the front arm down, resting on the front thigh, and exhale. Right arm comes up and overhead into the other side, side angle stretch. Staying here with the long line between your fingertips and your heel. And if you like, bring that bottom arm out and stretch it down towards the back leg, parallel with the back leg. Hold and breathe. Two more breaths. Inhale, reach. Exhale, press with control back into Warrior 2. Inhale, Warrior 1. Come back to face front. Shift the weight to the front foot and step it forwards. Hands together, gentle back bend. Exhale, pressing into palms. Bring it down to the heart center. Doing great. Now let's interlace the fingers behind the back. Pressing the palms together, hugging the hands. Inhale, pull the shoulders back. And exhale, slowly bring the head down, picking the hands up overhead. And then relax your neck and head down. Keep the hands lifting up. Breathe into your arms and shoulders. And then gently release the hands, slowly bring them down. Bend the knees, soften the legs, the torso, neck, head, and arms, and hang in a ragdoll. Keep the eyes open, focusing between your legs, breathing and allowing the head to surrender to the heart. And then slowly, taking a few breaths, peel the spine up. Stacking one vertebrae on top of the other, saving the neck and head for last. Epic. So now the body's nice and warmed up. If you need to at any point, of course, do a couple of toroidal breaths, centering, balancing, harmonizing. Done enough times with the arms, you can just focus on moving your energy field, tracing your breath awareness in both directions to this donut-shaped torus. Now let's move into our more advanced poses. Taking your time with this, going slow, perhaps reviewing me first before you get into it. We're going to start with a basic headstand. So we're going to come down onto our hands and knees, and we're going to make more or less an equilateral triangle with the top of our head closer to the front edge of our mat in the middle, with our hands to the outsides a bit back, fingers pointed forwards. I'm going to bring my head down slowly and then come up onto my toe tips and begin to tiptoe forwards, getting my hips as far up as I can and over my shoulders, making my feet much lighter. Taking a couple breaths here. Note how your neck, your spine, and everything's feeling.
before slowly bringing the knees into the chest. And then if you feel like it, extend the legs slowly all the way up overhead. Make sure you're not bending a lot. Press those hips forward, reach the toes up. Breathe and focus. One more breath. And slowly with control, bring the knees back down. Then the toe tips come to the mat, then onto the knees. And slowly lift your crown back up.
Extend the neck long and rotate it out a few times, relaxing the shoulders down and lifting the crown away from them. Good. If that felt good, let's do it one more time. Hands in a slightly different position this time. We're going to bring them a little bit more towards the edges of the mat with the fingers pointed either to the sides or back. Bringing the head down a little bit further away this time
so that the arms become straight rather than in the first position bent. Same as before, we tiptoe the toes all the way forward, getting the hips as close to right up and over the shoulders as possible to make the legs light so we can bend the knees into the chest and slowly up. Taking your time here, balancing out between the crown of the head and both hands and arms. One more breath. And slowly lower.
and lift. Always taking time to reinvest back in the neck, make space. And now let's move into an arm balance. Getting into crow pose, let's turn around. And this time, fingers are going to be spread nice and wide, about that 2 fist distance apart, maybe a little bit more, going shoulder width. And then we're going to come onto the toes, the tip toes, with the knees to the outside, kind of in a frog squat. Now, pressing the knees, the thighs, just over the elbows into the bicep tricep area, we're going to lift the hips up and kind of tiptoe forwards here, getting our hips as high up as possible, shifting our weight over our hands until you feel a lot of pressure in the hands. Grip the mat with your fingertips, gaze forward a few inches to a foot, keep your eyes focused, and maybe float some toes off the ground, the other toes off the ground, balance and breathe. Then gently come down, adjust as need be. Note if there's anything causing you discomfort. And we'll go right back into it, holding for a few breaths. Tiptoeing forward, press those knees and legs into the arms, shift the weight forward, one set of toes come up, the other set of toes come up. Focus, breathe. And exhale, come down. Good. Gently roll out the wrist. And back in the opposite direction. And shake it out. Side to side. And up and down. And now coming onto our butts and onto our backs. Let's come into our shoulder stand. So, Bringing the hands a bit underneath your torso. Pull the knees into the chest and slowly peel your hips up to over your shoulders, supporting your back with your arms and stacking, slowly lifting the legs all the way straight. And then press the hips open and forwards. Bring your hands further up the back. Reach those toes straight up. Not a lot of pressure in your neck here. Mostly they're in the shoulders and arms. Breathe here. Keep going for higher and straighter. Make sure the breath is always flowing. Two more breaths. And then slowly bringing the knees down, rolling the back down, straightening the legs and bringing them all the way down to the mat. Now, gotta let those coughs out, let the burps out, let the farts out, let the emotions, let the thoughts, everything comes out here. Remember, you're in a safe and sacred space. Counter position for the shoulder stand is fish pose. So we bring our hands, palms face down underneath our butt. So the arms are underneath the torso. And then we press into our hands and arms and lift the chest straight up to the sky. Then relax the neck back and slowly come to rest softly on your crown, still lifting the chest up. Breathe into this opening. And then inhale, lift the chest up, straighten the neck, and slowly lower down. Good work. Shake it out from your hips. Wiggle it out through the whole body, all the way through the neck and head, the arms, the legs. Smile. Feel satisfied. You've completed the challenge. Let's do a cool down. Let's bring the knees up into the chest and gently pulsate out a few times with the knees. Then rotate the knees. Inhale, rotating them forwards and away from the body. Exhale to the opposite side and in. Inhaling. Body starting to become more passive. Exhaling. Good. Then let's switch direction. Massaging the hips and low back. One more breath. Come back to center and slowly lower the feet down. Cross the left ankle over the right thigh. Open the arms out like airplane wings. Take a breath in. And slowly exhale, bring the knees down to the left as your head looks over to the right. Now we begin to get extra passive with the body. Let it go, but maintain a focus on the breath and the body with the mind. It's all fine to gobble up all the details what's happening now, but treating it like the weather. All these details come and go. Be present and move on to the next detail. Stay in the moment. Two more breaths on this side. And gently inhale, bring the head back up, bring the legs back up. Switch the cross of the legs. And exhale, slowly bring the knees down to the right, head to the left. And two more breaths on this side. Inhale, bring the head and knees back up. Uncross the legs, pull the knees into the chest, and wrap your arms around the legs. Pull your head into your knees and hug yourself into a ball. Now giving yourself gratitude. Gratitude for showing up today for yourself. Gratitude for this practice, enabling you to be aware of the health that you already have, as well as becoming aware of the health that you're growing with every conscious breath. Slowly release, bring the head down, bring the arms down straight, palms face up, legs down straight, feet open up to the outsides gently. Adjust yourself to be as comfortable as possible for the next few minutes. Inhaling with the eyes wide open, fully present with the self inside and out. And then exhale out the mouth, close the eyes, surrender the body completely. Relax, release, and take some time to absorb this practice. Breath still in the nose and out the mouth. Maintaining awareness of your state, of your physical form on the inhale, drawing in through the nose, and then exhaling out the mouth, softening further, drifting deeper down, discovering the space between being awake and being asleep. Slowly begin to deepen your breathing. Keep the breath flowing as you begin to waken the body, wiggling the fingers and the toes. Rotating the ankles and the wrists, and swaying the neck from side to side. Let's inhale and bring the arms all the way up overhead, filling up the lungs and pausing to give a full body wake up stretch. And then exhale, knees to your chest, and slowly coming down onto one side, resting in the fetal position for another moment. Remembering to stay nurturing to the self throughout your day today. Starting with a very slow rise up, maintaining your state of being. Feeling the whole body. And coming into a cross-legged seat. Coming back into your posture. Observe the body, mind, and emotions, and notice what's changed. Let's end this practice with a bow. Bringing the hands, palms face down to the sides, exhaling and bringing the chest over and down, taking a moment to honor ourselves, honor each other, honor this practice and the space to practice in. Turn palms face up and inhale, lift the arms, pulling the navel back in and up, chest up, crown up. Hands touch overhead. Gently pressing into the palms, exhale and draw them down to the heart center. Touching the thumbs to the sternum. Once again, checking with the heartbeat. Keep practicing. Take regular time out of your day just to give yourself 5-10 minutes of breath and body motion, opening up, remembering to practice not when it's convenient for you to do so, but at times of least convenience, when you really need to take a moment to reflect inwards. Done over and over, you can maintain an internal and external presence, calm yet energized, 24/7. The light, the life force within me, honors the light, the life force within you. Namaste. See you again.